Hey guys, Heavy Arms 45 here. I want to talk to y'all about some movies that need help. We need some writers, and we need some good writers for this. Those are video game and anime based movies. And the movies themselves, there have been some that are decent, but they are not as, I guess you say, interesting as they could be. Um, and I've heard different reasons on why they're not as good as they could be. Some have been because of, when it comes to anime, I've heard whitewashing. Um, no one is who they really are, and I'm looking at you, Dragon Ball Evolution. Um, the same thing also about not the same story could go to the whole Dragon Ball. I mean, not Dragon Ball. The uh, Blood Rain, Resident Evil, and possibly Mortal Kombat. No, I'll give Mortal Kombat has is basically with the style of it. It's just a combat thing, but you have also the what the characters actually do. Oh yeah, Mario Brothers. The Mario Brothers movie also did not do what normally happens with the characters. You know, the whole point of the Mario Bros. Is that Koopa steals the princess. The brothers go after them and in all these different worlds and come in the end they fight Koopa, Bowser, whichever one you want to call, and that's the end of it. Well, basically they win and Mario gets a kiss from the princess, and that's the end of the story. That's not what happened in this one. And I want to say the issue with these movies is that they're not what we know. You know, when we get to watching these movies, we're expecting to see stuff that we know. You know, some people like, we want to make it more realistic, and a lot of movies are more fast. It's more fictional a lot of times, I would say. In a lot more fantasy is the other word I was thinking of. Those people are looking for, but the people who watch them are looking for something a little bit more fantasy than anything else. And the way they do this, while they make it realistic, you're taken away from it. And another thing I think that takes away from these movies is, since they're, let me go back to the whitewashing. Well, if you want something to come to America, they need someone who is well known for people to get butts in the seats. And so they're going to put who they have big at the time. And a lot of people that they consider big at the time is white people. There's not a lot of, and I'll have to look this up, there's not a lot of black people that they promote. There's, comment below if you think of any 20 to 30 something black man, black woman. Actually, if you give me someone 20 to 30 of any race there's an A-lister, I'll shut up about it. But I feel like to get something in America popularized, they want to put somebody that has a big name. Like, they put Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell. To me, yes, Major and Ghost in the Shell didn't have a lot of emotions, but I feel like she still presented that she has some form of emotions, and ScarJo just doesn't show a lot of emotions when she's playing certain characters. And it's not just in Ghost in the Shell, but it was also in Lucy and as she plays Black Widow. There's times where her character doesn't project any feelings, and I don't know if it's just the way she wants to do it or what. But it's that just like throws off the character to me sometimes. And I'm wondering with the Black Widow movie they're talking about doing, if they're going to allow her to have a range of emotions, because I have not seen emotions, well, a lot of emotions from the characters she played since she started playing them. I mean, like in any of these movies that deals with superheroes. Um, when it comes though to anything, you need to make sure they should make the movies realistic enough to the audience, because the person you're playing to is someone who's seen the show before a lot of times. And if they haven't seen the show before, they know some, I mean, well, it'd be the anime or a video game, you're playing to someone who has seen this before, you know. Because if it's somebody who I might not have seen, like I've never played Final Fantasy 7, but I had a bunch of friends give me basically just before we saw Final Fantasy Advent Children of what I probably would expect. And so when I watched it, even though I've never seen played any of the video games before, I knew what I was coming into. I knew what to expect from what was there. So it made sense to me once I started watching it. And that's the same thing when it comes to these shows. The people need to understand that you don't need to change the characters. Keep the characters how they are. If I'm going to make a live action Goku, I know that he has to be stupid powerful and he has to be dumb. Like, he don't know what a kiss is, but he got 2 kids dumb. You know, he thought that getting married was a food. You know, you need someone like that. You know, you have to play him that stupid, because that's what we're literally expecting. We're expecting someone who he loves to fight, but he probably doesn't know what 2 times 2 is. When it comes to, if we decide to make a Naruto movie, we want somebody who, he might be slightly, you know, Naruto is angsty. You know, he's a person who feels left out. But he's someone also that, you know, just like any other Shonen Jump character, he's someone who people care about. He has a group of friends who like having him around. Same thing with Asa. You want somebody who's always positive. You know, there are things about the character that are essential for the character for you actually to say that you have the character in the show. I think that's the problem that happened with Evolution. They changed everything about the characters. Also, they try to put them into a certain timeline. How you don't have a 20-something-year-old play a character that's supposed to be a teenager, and I'm thinking of Dragon Ball Evolution at this time. But the thing is that nobody is, Goku, we saw as a teenager, and during that time, he was training. Like, from the time he was, like, 12 years old, he was training to be a fighter. He went from losing Grandpa Gohan to training with Master Roshi to learn stuff from Yamcha and all this stuff. And it took him a while, but he started winning tournaments. You talking about when he was a teenager, he was learning how to fight Piccolo. You know, there are things that people who have seen the character knows, and you don't have to do like, oh, we're going to start off to where Goku was first a kid. No. You know, there are gaps or parallel worlds. Like when you watch a Dragon Ball movie, they don't, you know that it's the same person, but you don't know what time it is. and you know that they have certain power. That's the same thing when it comes to My Hero Academia or any other movie. You have certain powers, but it's not they're not in the main canon, but it's the same character as what they normally have. So that's what you come if you watch these movies to expect. Another problem that I think they have is the rating system. A lot of people back in the 90s when Dragon Ball, I mean not Dragon Ball, and Mortal Kombat came out, you know, they weren't willing to do a rated R movie because the people that was playing the games were mostly 13 to 25, because that was back during the time where people were having problems with the violence in movies because Mortal Kombat had the fatality system. Well, with this now, you have people letting their kids watch the gory Saw movies and other gore fest movies that we consider horror. You know, if you're willing to let a child play the video games, you should be willing to let your child watch the movies. Like, if I play a game in front of my child, it's not going to be something that I'm not willing to let them watch. If my son like, can I play Mortal Kombat? Well, y'all have a kid. Sure, Dad, a Mortal Kombat movie coming out. Let's go. I'll take them to go see that. And I'm pretty sure that's the best way of doing it, because I just got through watching John Wick 3. I'm pretty sure that after watching that, I'm very sure that we could do a rated R Mortal Kombat movie if we wanted to. I'm fairly sure of that. I mean, full fatalities and everything. But tell me what y'all think about that. There are problems with it, but we do need people that, if we want these movies to happen, we need someone to create a movie. Because we've seen people do pretty good fan fictions and stuff. Like, back in the day, the Mortal Kombat Legacy did a great job to me of, like, warming up the ideas of Mortal Kombat, and they had actual stars in there. You had J. Michael White, the woman who plays Seven of Nine, the guy from Starship Troopers. You know, you even had the guy who played the original Shang Tsung in the movies to get into this. I mean, these were like, I don't know how much they paid them for this, but that was a decent thing to say that it came on YouTube. So, you know, we have people willing to try and work the characters in, but treat the characters as who they are, not what you want them to be. It will be my answer. And with that, I'll catch you later.